The only reason I went live is because of this right here. I was getting settled. It was going to be another minute. Then I saw reliable Dave 128. Let's make Dave happy. Oh, yeah, it is. As you guys are rightly pointing out, it is late night. Good morning, Coronachan. And it's been an odd day. Odd day. Uh, I have a project I'm working on, and it's weird. The girlfriend is off back at home, or home where the family lives. Bye. Actually, I'm not joking. I you're doing good when the old timers are jealous of you. Like, what? You're not married? No. You can leave whenever you want. Yeah. You got the house to yourself? Yeah. It is. Everything's perfect. I am not kidding. Everything is awesome. Everything is great when the girlfriend leaves. Everything is awesome. Not that I don't like her, but key to success. I don't have a lot of relationship advice. I really don't. Stay thin. Ladies, swear to God, be nice. Don't have another man's kid. These are very simple ones, but yeah, take some time off. Go do your thing. And so, whereas I enjoy the fact that I'm by myself, I could kind of go do my stuff. The cold kicked in, so cold I'm going down to Vegas, so I can't hike. Then I got my house. House is all done. Nothing to do there. All right, you look at it. And then I played some video games. I played Battlefield 1, the campaign. Yet another first-person shooter that has a microscopic campaign because everything is online. And I got a kick out of the Battlefield 1, which is World War I. Of course, it is publicly known that it's a black character on the main thing. And you would have had me. You would have had me if you said it was part of the Harlem Regiment, which was a thing. Okay. And that plays in the game, actually, too. I'm like, all right, that's right. That was historically accurate. But the black guy they have on Battlefield 1, I don't know if you've looked at, you guys probably played video games long before. It's this fat, chubby, skinny, fat guy who looks like he's on welfare. I'm like, there wasn't no World War I vet that looked like that. Not one guy in World War I was that well fed. Look at him. He's like filled with soy. I'm like, that's not what any one of them looked like. Not a single one. Was it here? That's going to be hey, Activision, whatever, BioWare. What are you going to do about the trans people? How are you going to fit them in historically? You did have the Harlem Regiment. There were black men that served in both world wars, the Red Tails, Harlem Reds. So those are kind of the most Hellfighters. Thank you, mercenary. The Harlem Hellfighters. So there is historical fact there. Where's the really? You gonna fit it in? Because that's what he looked like. Or she looked like, I don't know. You're gonna lose so many people. Like, I don't know what male, we don't know, we don't care. Anyway, so I played that, and that was a short campaign, so that was done in about 2 days. I scared some deer out of my yard trying to eat the grass. And it's like, whoa, this is it, huh? I get my work done. I go to the gym, I do the consult, as you guys saw, a lot of consulting videos, some originals that somebody paid for originals. Hallelujah. But go to the gym, then I go get food. You actually figure out I'm seeing I got high up enough on this mountain where I'm like, oh, I can see how that happens now. Where it's like the old people and they're lonely, they're a widow or a widower. And so I'm more or less retired and my quote wife is gone. So what do? Well, meetups suck. It's too cold to do anything outside. I do have my poker game. I go to that. But you end up running into the same circles with the old widowed old timers. And so I'm at a diner that I like to go to because they got pretty good food and they're reliable. And I go and sit right at the countertop. I don't wait for a seat. Inside baseball, kids, you want to save yourself literally years of life. You never wait to be seated at a table. You go right to the bar. You go right to the counter or the diner desktop. You sit right down. And I look to my left, I look to my right, and gosh, I don't know, there's a time that I was not the youngest guy sitting there. And I look, and there's a and now one time I talked to an old retired Navy captain, and he went on into intelligence. He was an attaché for France, just a hell of a Korea vet, just a hell of a cool guy. So cool, I ended up buying his thing because I'm like, yeah, get the old timer. And he started talking to me. I'm like, oh, there's some old time guy. And then I was like, all right, look, he just did it. And he ended up being, for once, a really cool, interesting person. But you start to see that world. They're like, wow, this is it, huh? This is God's waiting room of the North, I see. It's kind of sad because I go out and I try and look, and then the people I have that are friends, I was like, well, they're busy or working as they obviously would be. Then you're at home and it's like, oh wow, like video games. I got an Oculus Quest. Maybe I'll go play it tonight. I don't know. I threw a different curveball at myself today. I'm like, oh, okay, I got to set up the Switch. I got to unplug the Xbox One. And after a while, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think I want to listen to a documentary about World War One. World War One artillery. I want to learn about that. World War One rifles. World War One machine guns. All of this incredibly practical and useful knowledge that'll help you out later in life. Well, that was actually the whatever. I even forgot what the guns were. And like that's almost more interesting. Listening to a podcast is more interesting than playing video games. And so this morning I woke up and I'm like, all right, I am not going home. Like I'm leaving. I'm gonna do all the work I have to do at home. So I paid some bills, I answered some emails. I put stable in the I didn't put any stable in the weed whacker. Damn it. I put it all in the vehicles. Darn it. All right. I have to put that in the weed whacker. Just some winterization stuff. It's 9:30. I'm like, all right, I am not coming home until I'm done with poker. Not coming home. So drove all the way up to Rapid City and I should do that more often. It saves a lot of travel time. I'm just right on the outskirts where it's like, it's not too, especially compared to, leftist Democrat crap holes where adult Democrats crap in the street type of traffic. It's not Democrats pooping in the street level of traffic. So it's quick enough to get there. But I was like, oh yeah, I saved myself like a good 45 minutes round trip, not doing 2 trips today. So I went to 1, 2, 3 coffee stores. Working. I went to my diner that I like. I was again the youngest person there at the countertop. And then what else did I do? Then I went. Oh, I sat in the car and listened to a podcast and did some internet stuff on the phone. Played poker. And I got screwed. But that's how the game goes. Sometimes luck goes the bad way. And I got home. I'm like, wow, I've been gone 12 hours almost. Why? And I had energy. I thought I was going to die. I thought like, oh no, I got to get something. I had to get back home. I didn't miss anything. It was a little chilly. But got back. I'm like, man, I'm wide awake. And normally, maybe staying in is bad. I know you should never stay in. You always have to leave the house at least once a day. You weirdos that just stay in all, I don't know what's wrong with you. But I got back. I'm like, hey, I got a little bit of energy. Might as well do a podcast. And I had to do a podcast anyway, because I'm taking off for Vegas later on this week. And not that I won't be podcasting down there, but we gotta get the Southern Command up and running. Gotta fight the Scorpions. I absolutely have to make sure that the dog of no real value is there and take her out with her tennis balls. She likes tennis balls. You can get tennis balls, 3 for a canister for $1.74 at Walmart. So I'll take the dog of no real value out. And so I figure I'd bang it on. That's it. And I may even go play Oculus Quest Golf. So let's go. Let's stay on top of these super chats so we don't get too far behind. Yeah, so it is late night. We got kind of more of the regulars. Mac Wilson, $2. If you had kids, would you tell them Santa, the Tooth Fairy exists? Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You gotta let kids out. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not Stefan Molyneux. Look, my old man, pastor, Nazi Wisconsin Synod Lutheran Church, um, like they're the ones that no dogs don't go to heaven. And they literally told me this. That, you're a little 5-year-old kid. They literally told me this. Will I be able to go sledding? Whatever a 5-year-old kid wants to do. Why be able to do this? Why be able? And this is how screwed up these people are. They literally told me, well, you could, but you won't because all you want to do is worship God. And I already having been familiar with church said, I don't like that. No offense to the big man upstairs. I don't want to sing. I don't need to read the Nicene Creed for the 8,000th time, not knowing what I'm saying. I want to go out and build a snow fort. Well, why would you do that when you could worship God? I don't know. Maybe I want to have sex with my wife. Maybe I want to have sex with a harem of women. Is that allowed up in heaven? Oh, why would you want to do it? Can I get a root beer float? No, why would you do that? Anything fun. Anything fun. Can I play Call of Duty, the not sucky game? Why would you do that when you can worship God? I don't know, variety. Wouldn't he get bored of it? Wouldn't he be shooing people away? Hey, get the hell out of here. Go do it. Hey, look, Pong. Hey, a swingy rope. Look at all. Hey, whatever you want. Yeah, I know. I'm great. Welcome to heaven. Get the hell out of here. Go do something else. Can't be that arrogant. You constantly need everybody praising you. Oh my God. If I was God, I'd be like, hey, well, no, I don't want to see you guys. Like why I said, stay away. How I make the old man jealous. I don't see her for weeks at a time. It's healthy, but get the hell out of here. I don't care where you go. Go to that side of heaven. But we want to worship you. And I just snap my fingers because, you're God. And then they're at the other side of heaven and I change their minds because I'm God. And they died. Then oh man, they got too much free will. Snap. Oh, there, they did the thing I wanted them to do. All right. Bye. Him and JC and the Holy Ghost. All right, no special powers. We're playing poker. All right. No, we can't know. With our omnipotence or super know all. We got to put that on hold. Yeah, I absolutely would tell my kids that Santa exists and the Tooth Fairy exists. Yes, absolutely. Easter Bunny, although we have a variant of that called Grandpa Bunny Bunny. The little nieces and nephews that are not mine, but by association, they don't know. They don't know what an uncle is. They just know you're this cool guy that shows up every once in a while. So my grandpa did this. We called it Grandpa Bunny Bunny, which is named after a Disney book. And we would go down to this stream, and my grandpa would have pockets full of candy, but we didn't know that. And he's okay. Now you gotta look for the Grandpa Bunny Bunny. I thought I saw him over. Oh, and we were little toddler type. We believe anything. And so when we weren't looking, he'd chuck a piece of candy kind of near us. Like, what's that? And but didn't you see him? Oh, he's really go look. I thought he went over there into the bushes. We go running in the bushes, and then they're like, look, what's that? Oh, he dropped some candy. You scared him. Dude, I did that to they had a blast. They had a blast. No, we should teach them the Old Testament, vengeful God. You got to major in STEM. Men only like you for your looks. Let's just hit them upside with the book of truth all the time, right? Let's not let them be kids. Absolutely, they're going to be Santa Claus. I mean, you could come up with a whole bunch of lies for these guys. That's how you teach them to be a little bit more clever. Teach them how to identify lies. Hey, is Uncle Aaron joking me? Like, hey, are you girls allowed to be in South Dakota? The nieces come back. Are you girls allowed to be here? Yeah, I don't know. Did the cops stop you? No. They have thinking you're serious. All right, we better avoid the cops. I don't know if little girls can be allowed in South Dakota. What do you mean, South Dakota? I don't know. I've only been here a year. Let me look at you. You got to do that. Come on, all the look, that's half the point of being a dad is you get to lie to your kids and pull jokes on them. You know, good dads, the ones that intellectually challenge their children, not you pansified, ballless wonders known as American fathers. Oh, yes, dear. That's all right. Your kids will get the crap kicked out of them in school. Hatton Clogs, $2. Cappy got to do what Cappy's got to do. Hi, Cappy. Hi, Hatton Clogs. Yeah, got to do. Flat out comes in out. Donna Hannaford, my Australian mistress agent in the field. 2 Australian does. I love Pop and Ron Swires. What about me? What about me? Is Pop broadcasting right now? You made Ron's day. Hey, Ron, a white girl likes you. Look out. They're having a little love affair here on the chat room. Cynic in Chief, our favorite computer genius van life agent in the field. I need a break. I got far too much work to do. Did you take on a full, if I recall, didn't you take on a full gig? You took a real gig on and you're going to be serious and adult and like look for housing so you get to get a wife. And then we all laughed. Hey, look, he thinks he's going to get a wife. And it has nothing to do with you, fine sir. It just has to do with you think you're going to get a wife. In this day and age. Oh, there we go. Dollar cost crypto, $20. Can't wait to have a stream with you, bro. Yeah, funny you mentioned that. So I went on Fresh and Fit. I had like 6 months of no travel. I was refreshed, ready to go, and went to Miami. Got back to Miami. I did like 5 different interviews, 5 different shows. One is a regular repeating one, which is Rule Zero. And I went on Dr. Anwar Dunbar's big discussion, which is good. I had a good time on all of them. And I'm all right. Okay, I'm done. It's like in a week and a half. I've done 5. Like, wait till 2023. 2023. I appreciate it, though. Thanks for the $20. And while we're at it, why don't you guys sign up? And look, you paid $20, guys. The least you could do is go subscribe to his channel. Get him a little bit of money back. Bob, $5. Do you think school is moot? Mute? I don't think school is mute. I think school is moot, but I don't think it's mute for most people after 14. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Look, a third of the young people ain't even freaking working. 57% of you claim, young people, by the way, I watch a couple of videos, claim to have a mental disorder. No, I'm sorry, 57% are on a medical prescription for a mental disorder, but only 42% have been diagnosed. Adderall's fun, kids, right? And I mean, honestly, aside from some statistics that I've used, I have used calculus a couple times. I don't think I've really used math beyond, algebra, geometry. I really haven't. And I'm like in finance and numbers. I don't think Chad's used that either. There is no reason we should be educating kids beyond 14, unless you actually decide to intend to give them a trade or a skill that will help them be employed. But you might as well end at the 8th grade for most people. We should just get rid of high school, absolutely get rid of high school, and that's the new college. We boost up the education requirements and the quality over in K through 8. We teach them to learn a skill or a trade of programming. High school is the new college. It's paid for. I'll go with you there. We just swap out a high school, replace college, put new. We call it new high school. We just call it high school. Like, here's your 4-year degree, and then President Cappy would go to every employer and every HR Karen out there and like, if I ever see you over requiring people's education, I'm filing an EEOC lawsuit against you because you're discriminating against poor people, minorities, and women. And then all the Karens would be, but I have no reason to live. I'm like, you're right. Take the hint. And they quit their jobs. That's what I meant by that. They would quit their jobs, say, I would find something productive to do in society. And they become accountants and engineers. I wasn't saying about crossing the street as opposed to walking the long way down. I wasn't saying that. Just saying they would find a new career that would actually be productive. But yeah, high school is high school is pretty pointless. Cynic achieved $5. I got a house, 60% paid off. Where have all the good men gone? 6-figure full-time remote programming job. Where have all the good men gone? Oh, not that good man. I meant a different good man. An occasional side work. I travel a couple times a year now. Hey, Cynic, why don't you come out to Vegas? I'm going to be heading down there. Not this trip. Not November. I'm there. I'm going to be working, clearing up stuff. But maybe later, after the holidays, you want to come on out? Boom. There it is. Let's go get to the topic here. And then I am going to answer an email because it's germane, and I'm gonna kind of keep it a little bit anonymous because he is young, he is innocent in this regard, and I know he's asking not a moral question, he's asking a financial question. I'm with you there, but my hot take, which is all my hot takes are 100% correct. All my hot takes. Oh, T Rash is in the house. Here we go. Colleges are active fund by government loan program. It is. Here we go. CNBC Federal Appeals Court blocks Biden's student debt relief program nationwide. And this is on top of a previous blockage, if I recall correctly. And there's a picture of your standard mixed race lady. There she is. They're all the same now. She's a little white. She's a little black. Maybe she's Latino. We don't know. It's not a guy, so that's thank God. And she's all sad. She followed all the advice of her Democrat overlords, like her teachers and her parents and the professors. Oh, nosies. It's almost like following Democrats' advice is bad. Federal Appeals Court Monday issued a nationwide injunction temporarily barring the Biden administration's student loan debt relief program. The ruling by the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals of St. Louis is the latest in a series of legal challenges to President Joe Biden's plan to cancel up to $20,000 student debt for a million Americans. The Biden administration stopped accepting payments for its relief on Friday. Applications for its relief on Friday after a federal district judge in Texas God bless Texas. All you jerk wipes over at the 9th Circuit over in San Francisco, eat a bag of dicks. Well, that's what most of your constituents do. Struck down its plan Thursday, even calling it unconstitutional. Wop, wop. Monday's decision by the appeals court came after 6 GOP-led state argued that in a lawsuit that loan relief program threatens their future tax revenues and is completely unethical. No, I just added that because it's true. That the plan circumvents congressional authority. The injunction will remain in effect until further order of this court or the Supreme Court of the United States, a 3-judge panel of the appeals courts in its ruling. Hang on, let me look up something. Six months. I'm just seeing how long it takes a case to go to the Supreme Court, because this is my main question I have of those of you who are waiting for other people to give you their money. Biden administration could ask the Supreme Court to lift the injunction. We are confident in our legal authority for the student debt relief program and believe it is necessary to help borrowers most in need as they recover from the pandemic, said White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. Said the administration will continue to fight these baseless lawsuits by Republican officials and special interests. Will never stop fighting to support working and middle-class Americans. Rule focuses on the potential harm to hurt state revenue. Main obstacle, bobbity. Now, we could go over this one. We could go over, I think it was a week and a half ago, as to why that also put an end to the let me clear this out. Sorry about that, guys. Here's just something I want to point out to all of you who are hoping for a student loan bailout. And this is something I figured out when it came to kind of like applying for student loan aid and scholarships. You do realize by the time this is all said and done, it goes through the courts. And this even assumes in the end, the final decision comes down that, yes, you can get student loan bailouts. By the time this is done, you very likely could have just worked a second or third job for a year and gotten out of this. Certainly, I mean, what is it? Let's say you start, uh, let's say $12 an hour net because it's $15 an hour. So let's go. What's it's 20,000 tops, 10,000 minus. So we're going to go 15,000 divided by $12 an hour. 12. That is a part-time job for 1 year. I know you're not responsible adults. I know you are lazy. I know you are dumb. I know with your college degree, you think real work is beneath you. I know you just don't want to do it. But let me ask you this. That's 1,250 hours, 1,250 hours. That is a part-time job for a year. If you had just worked this part-time job for a year to get the on average 15,000 after tax, would you be better off or worse off? If you just bit the bullet and worked another job and were a responsible adult and honored what the contract says that you signed, if you were a responsible adult and returned the money that you took from other people, would you not be better off? And this is what fascinates me about parasites in general. You're a leftist American parasite. The amount of work you put into avoiding responsibility is more work than if you would just go and bite the bullet and do the work. And I do understand that, well, I didn't sacrifice my labor. I didn't work anymore. Tee hee hee. I'm like, yeah, but the mental strife and strain, if we were to, there's no way to really qualify it or quantify it or put a price on a mental suffering you're paying. But what would be more mentally painful? Working 1 year a part-time job or worrying about this over decades? Like, if you look at the people that like, I'm gonna get my $20,000 and I can finally start a business. Like, hey, if you're so stupid, you got $20,000 in debt and you can't pay it off by the age of 40, you are not running a business, not a successful one anyway. We can finally start families. Kids cost a little bit more than $10,000 to $20,000. We can finally why would you let finances get in your way? You're Democrats, right? You're completely irresponsible. You just have sex and have as many kids, and you don't care if you can afford it or not, right? But the main point, apolitically speaking, it's I have fascinating. I'm fascinated with the answers, by leftists and parasites. Like, how's that working? Like, did you ever think maybe that you ought to do this thing? I don't know. You ever think maybe you shouldn't go and get a master? You ever think? Do you think? Period. And I'm even trying to help them out. Like, there's an easier way. And I got to imagine, like, let's say, okay, so you graduate 22, 32. Yeah, that's about right. 10 years. I think it takes about 10 years to pay off your student loans. On average, working 1 year, a part-time job in addition to a full-time job. You take the money, you pay it down. Maybe you wouldn't pay it off, but you pay it down. Or freaking out about it for 10 years to finally get Joe Biden to give you a partial relief. And that, like, is that not less stress and worry than it would be if you had to worry 10 years to hope? What's it like having hope? How'd that work out for you black people who voted for Obama? How's that hope working for you? That's great. That really paid. That played out well. I say it because not because I'm like trying to prevent. I'm like, it didn't work. When you like, hey, plan A didn't work. We better come up with plan B. No, every Democrat, more of plan A. We just didn't do plan A right. Hey, it ain't my life you're wasting, it's yours. And here you guys are, bitching and whining and protesting. And that's a criticism I've had of leftist protesters in general. Like, you do know that instead of protesting and writing for grants and bitching and whining on the internet, if you just worked a $15 an hour job, you would not have financial troubles or nowhere near the amount of financial. You wouldn't be complaining. You'd have the money you wish you had. And the irony is you think you're being clever and you're avoiding the work when I'm like, well, ain't going and protesting on a street for 3 hours a day, ain't that kind of work? What's the difference between that and like twirling one of those Liberty signs or Liberty tax service? What there is no difference. I mean, even if you don't like fast food, at least you're indoors. People, it happened in Minnesota, protesting outside in the cold, one stupid thing or another. And I'm always like, you understand? Like, what do you have against work? You're doing it already. You know what white collar work is like? You majored in the liberal arts and social sciences. You sat at a desk, you sat in front of a computer, and you dealt with BS the entire time for 4 to 8 years. You perfect white collar workers. You already are skilled. You have the ability. What's wrong with you? And so I got to ask the students, and it's too late. You got to understand the adults are so screwed up. It's too late for these adults. I'm pointing this out to you Zoomers and younger kids. Like, look, do you want to be a 35-year-old who's protesting at the Capitol to basically steal other people's money? That's what it is. That's what I don't care. I was lied to. Well, you could have swore that I could have swore that you were like the most intelligent person ever because you had a college degree. You know better. And if you're that dumb, you should not vote. Well, I don't stop at that. So again, hypocrisy. I don't care. Do you want to be these people? Do you want to be 35 years old and like a little baby sucking off his mom's teeth and I need government money and then perpetually pissed off because you made the mistake and somehow you got to grasp at straws to blame someone? Do you want to do that? And here's the other thing. The Democrats, oh man, and I'm not a big Democrat Republican. I'm no Rush Limbaugh, but it's true. The Democrats are just so stupid. They're just the socialist party. You're relying on the government to do something effective and efficiently. Look, if you rely on an individual, okay, little Susie Johnson promised to babysit your kids and be there at 7. You are relying on the word of Susie Johnson. You're relying on one girl to do her job and honor her commitment. All right. Very simple. One moving piece, Susie. All right. You're going to hope Susie's word is honorable. She shows up, babysits your kid. You're relying on the federal government, which has 535 people in Congress and a president, that it's got to give the whole blame. And there's also other political parties that can invoke obviously the courts could come in and roadblock it. And this is already the federal government, which is incredibly inefficient anyway. Did you see what a great job they helped getting all the poor people out of poverty these past 60 years? Great job, guys. All right. Yeah. You ever apply for a FAFSA? Did you fill out your FAFSA? Huh? Did you? You ever apply for any? How many of you applied for a PPP loan? How many of you guys fill out your own tax? You think that organization is going to be Johnny on the spot with giving you 10 to 20 grand? It could be 10 freaking years. And I got to imagine at this stage, like you get to double down or pay it down. And I guess a lot of you by this age, like, well, I'll just die. Then they won't get then they won't die. If I die with debt, then they can't get me. Great. I can't. Your life must be amazing. Must be really amazing. And I get to laugh at you because you're thieves. That's all you are. You're just thieves. Don't give me, I was lied to. Oh, other people weren't? Too bad. Are you going to get upset because they lied to you at the car dealership? And really, do I see anyone working double jobs or, I got to cut back the spending? You all drive nicer cars than me, so shut the F up. But related to this, I got a request, and I got to mark the time. It is 34 minutes. Let me write that down, 34 minutes. And even though this guy is in the UK, his situation is somewhat similar. Anonymous writes, hello, Aaron. Oh, I got a bunch of emails here. Hi, Aaron. I'm a young man. I'll anonymize this a little bit. And just recently graduated with an economics degree. Yes, I know it's useless. Why did you major in it? I managed to get lucky as a company has sponsored me to qualify it as a charter account, which is their version of CPA. So that's good. That's very good. I mean, like you really couldn't get a better deal than that. Actually, that's the best. So, okay, yeah, it was useless, but that gamble paid off. You're doing very well. I'll qualify in 3 years' time. I'm currently living with my parents due to the horrendous rental market in my town. I have no savings, but I'm able to put away around, let's just say £2,000 after expenses each month. My only investment is with a company that gives you your investment back for 12 months with the aim of improving your credit score. Stop that now. I don't know what shady crap that is. You want to improve your credit score? Get a credit card, okay? And this is one of the main, if not the main criticism I have about your long and dragged out strategy here. All right, you are trying to do way too many things at once. I do not know what kind of company that is. Where you give your company money and then they give your investment back after 12 months. No, 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 no. You want to improve your credit score? Get a credit card and pay it off every month, okay? You can do that. Okay, you give me the details about the thing. I would not be doing that thing. Okay, stop that. Just get a credit card, okay? I've seen your videos regarding how to invest, and you gave good detailed list of options that I could invest in, one of which was at the top of the list below emergency fund of 6 months' wages. All right, yes, so get your 6 months' of wages. That is the number one thing you do. Even though you're living at home, which is, I agree with you. You should be living at home. You're not missing out on anything. And I agree that town has egregious rent. So you're smart, not pissing away your money. That's good. So build up your 6 month of wages. That's good too. Is paying off any student loan. I don't know how relevant this is for me as I have around £54,000, which I got to look up we're talking what, 70 grand US? The pound is still stronger than the dollar, right? You're the economist guy. I'm not anymore. With a 6.3% interest rate, but the student loans in the UK have a condition where here we go again. Here we go again. Here's the government, which is no more efficient in the United Kingdom than it is the United States. We have a condition where after 30 years from graduating, the entire sum of the loan is canceled, regardless if I paid £1 or £12,000. So would it be advisable to ignore the student loan and let it pay itself off until it eventually cancels so that I can pursue other investments such as moving on to buying gold and silver? Just letting you know that your YouTube channel is incredible, and I honestly wish I went on your channel back when I was 16. You watched my channel when I was there. I would have started saving early. Dude, you're doing fine, man. You're doing great, okay? You got a job. They're going to sponsor you for your CPA or chartered accountant. You're living at home. You're blessed to be at a time in the world where women just have no interest in men, so you don't have to get your own apartment. And I think we'll go through the rest of this stuff here. I think you're biting off one you could chew. Hi, Aaron. Just a follow up from my last email. I realized the situation is worse than I thought. I logged in to check that my balance is a little bit more. As I said earlier, my annual income. Wait, did you say earlier? Where did you say earlier? Did I miss an email? I had a question. I said, you have £54,000 in debt from the UK? Because, UK is like, free everything and some crappy food. Here you go. Look, rain. And that was the United Kingdom. What school did you attend? Blah, 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 blah. As I said earlier, if my annual income exceeds... you know what? I recall you saying you gave me your income. Why don't I see that anywhere? I'm not missing an email. Huh. Okay, if your income exceeds a certain threshold, which it already has, I pay 9% above that threshold of my pre-tax annual earnings towards the loan. Do you hear yourself? Does this sound easy or complicated? And I know £54,000 or almost 60,000 with your new number is a lot of money. Let me ask you this. Do you want this headache for the rest of your life? That's another one where, well, my mortgage is 5%, but inflation is 7%. And you're right, you should probably let inflation eat away at that. I'm all for that. But there's a lot to be said of like, hey, how about you never have to deal with that debt ever again? And this goes back to the psychological price. That roughly 60,000 pound debt is going to hang over you and it's going to gnaw at you. And you're going to hope, and hope is not an action plan. Hope is outsourcing your responsibility to other people who do not have your best interests at heart. It might turn out that way, but you already told me here. There's another email. We'll get to it later. But you are now relying on a political organization that's just as complex as the U.S. federal government. It's the United Kingdom federal government and politicians to do the thing they said they're going to do in 30 years' time. 30 years? Hang on, man. 60, that's 2,000 pounds a year. So 2,000 divided by 12. Okay, that's 166 pounds a month. That's like maybe a really nice cell phone plan. Can you not cough that money up? Do you know what you're economist? You know how compound interest works. Why don't you just knock out go get your reserve fund, build up some money, and I agree with your original sentiment. Knock it out. Be done with it. But what if they build it out? What if they don't? And here's the real reason. And I know this is not financial. It's esoteric. It's ethereal. It's not tangible. You're not going to live a lesser life for the next 3 decades worrying about your student loan debt like everyone else in the UK or everyone else in the United States. And I can't, I mean, you're young, so you won't know this until you get older. But man, Coach Greg Adams had it right. He said, peace, contentment, and quiet. That's what men want. I think women want it too. Don't know why they talk so much, but presumably it makes sense. And like once you got a job, you're on your way to make pretty good money. Actually, if you get that chartered accountant thing, you can work remotely. You're on a great track, man. Why would you ruin or lessen your life with worrying about a large liability for 30 years? Pay it off, be done with it, never borrow that much money again. And then you get to enjoy your life. And I can't until you're there. Like when I paid off my mortgage back in the Twin Cities, it was an alleviating feeling. I got a mortgage now, but it's quite low actually, and the interest rate is so low. I don't let Uncle buy it and inflate the hell out of that. But I don't have credit card debt. I always pay that off. I don't have a car loan, and the peace and contentment. I moved out of the Twin Cities. And I realized, I mean, it wasn't until I went back to visit did I realize how much more calm and relaxed I am out here. I know I seem agitated still, but you should have seen me driving or just being in Minnesota. All right. And you can't put a numerical price on it, but it is it is more of a benefit than you think to not have to worry in life. So if you don't get a girl pregnant, you don't spend more than you make, you have stable finances, and you have good health because you take care of your health, and you have nothing to worry about aside from, day-to-day things and work and other daily job requirements, other normal obligations, your life is so much better and it has nothing to do with how much money you have. And so just pay, you're going to make the money. You're going to make the money. Live with your folks. They seem amicable to it. Help out your mom, help out your dad. Toss them by, pay for some groceries or some. Don't be that. Don't be an American child. Mom, Dad, I need my ass wiped. Okay, son. I know your special needs, and it's not that I was a crappy parent. Sounds like your folks sounds like they pushed you. Like I'm imagining you had pretty good grades. So, respect your parents. Sounds like they did pretty good. Save your money and pay this off. Or at least this, being an economist or economics major. Why don't you just work really hard these 2 years, all right? Take all your extra money, build up your reserve savings, take the lion's share of your money and pay that balance down early on during its amortization so you accelerate the payments. And then just go and make, I don't know, a 200-300 a month, 200-300 pound a month payment to it to just finally kill it off. All right. But I would be aiming to pay that off as quickly as possible. And here's the other thing. I think at the rate you're going right now, like you got lined up, man, you were on the glide path. it looks good for you. Assuming it keeps going like that, right, you're going to be making a lot of money. And again, the United Kingdom women, I see pictures of them. Isn't that the place where all the United Kingdom women just fall over and spread their crotch to the world after drinking too much in the streets? Isn't that like the new United Kingdom pastime? I don't think you're in a rush to get married. I don't think there's going to be a great girl at your doorstep anytime soon. Save the money, live with your folks, pay down your student loans, work hard, and then when the time comes to maybe you want to buy a house or a flat, hey, because it was flattened during the German bombardments. It's history humor. Could it have been bailed out? Could have been forgiven? Sure. Do you want to leave it up to United Kingdom putzes in Parliament? The putzes in Parliament. You want to leave it to the Parliament putzes to do this? 3 years, does not affect my payments. However, this does mean the student loan will accrue interest by an insane amount and become more and more difficult to remove. The student loan does not affect the chance of getting a mortgage, etc., as far as I know. Here's another thing, dude. I understand the practical sense in this. You're of a culture that believes in paying back its debts, right? I won't go into much. But doesn't it gnaw at you? You took other people's money and now you're not going to give it back? I mean, I understand if they vote that way, these are the rules, but I mean, does that not factor into any kind of your decision on this? And the fact that it accrues interest, so it just grows and grows and grows, all of a sudden now you're like you're an old millennial whose game plan is, well, I'll just die with the debt. Ha ha ha. And then how is your life going to look? Look, you got a degree in economics. You know how compound interest works. Pay it off now. Pay it off early. Don't let it grow. I realize I'd probably be earning around a significant amount more as I qualify as an accountant in the United Kingdom, but it'll result in me paying around 100,000 plus in interest across the 30-year lifetime. Well, that's more than the balance. You did the math for me. What is wrong with you? Pay it off. Assuming the UK government doesn't turn its back on the promise to clear the debt. Right. They just increased it to 40 years. The loan wipes out if you join as a so you got 40 years now? 40 years. You'll be old. You'll be 60 something. So now I'm left with three choices. A, pay off the student loan within 3 years by the time I'm 25 through monthly installments of £1,750. By then I'll have become a chartered analyst, earning a significant amount. Save you 6 months worth of wages first. And then you start paying that student loan, okay? The 6 month emergency reserve comes first. I mean, if there's some money left over, go ahead and pay it towards the balance. But then be gave the save, invest in index funds for a house, etc. Earning. Right. Then you start that stuff. Emergency savings first, or concurrently. Paying off student loans second, or concurrently. Then index funds. Whatever they call your 401ks over there in the United Kingdom, the wankly danklies, whatever hookly wacklies. I'll have no savings until 25 if I pursue this route, but it's the fastest way of removing the debt. Right. I'd save for the emergency fund. Now, there you go. I like B so far. Buy the precious metals and invest in real estate while just giving the repayment to the loan. No, you're not buying real estate. No. What you should really do what I would recommend is go read Bachelor Pad Economics and read the part about housing, because I'll give you the very, very short version. Housing should not be a thing that you have to rush to get into. Housing should be based on your life. What you become a chartered analyst or a chartered accountant. What if your company sends you to mainland? What if they send you to Ireland? You don't know where you're going to live. Right. So I would not be buying a house. That is like one of the last things I'd be worried about. And unless you're going to find a wife, I don't see any real reason to move out of your parents' house at this point. But how do I get the girls? Go rent a place for a month. Get an Airbnb for a month. But what if it lasts more than a month? Don't worry, most of them don't. You all laugh, but it's true. Hey guys, if you had just all the girls that you banged, just talk in the chat room, for all the girls you banged, and Airbnb was a thing back in the day. If you just rent an Airbnb for a month, would that have covered and provided you lodging for the vast majority of the girls at the time you were banging them? C, spend the next 3 years making yourself a little bit more financially stable by getting the emergency fund, etc. first. But once I qualify at the age of 50, start prioritizing repaying the loan. But I don't know if my parents allow me to live with them past the age of 27, 28. Right. So, okay, you got several years to work on this. 1, emergency savings. 2, pay off your student loans. If you got a little bit of money left over, maybe start buying a little bit of silver. Nothing wrong with that, but not at the expense of your student loans. 3, none of this is your options that you gave me, and I'm giving you D, option D. If you got some extra time and it won't sacrifice your work, work a side gig. Be a bartender or whatever pays in the United Kingdom. Be the guy that cleans up all the girls' urine after they piss themselves in the street because they get drunk and they show their hoo-ha to the world. Urine sweeper, whatever pays out there. I don't know what jobs are in the United Kingdom. I like Brits in general. It's just the United Kingdom is voted is like so sad and pathetic. But see if you can work some kind of other job and throw the extra proceeds to your student loans. Look, and if your parents see you're working hard, they're going to be inclined to help. Yeah, help out with the groceries, do the dishes for mom. I love you, mom. Give your mom a hug, clean the house, be a good tenant. But yeah, by 27, 28, and you're ready to go financially, that's about the time to get going. That's about the time I would get. And you should have your finances squared away by that time. Sorry for the extra email. I only just realized the gravity of my situation. Thought this information may be useful. I really appreciate your advice as everyone in the UK screams to not pay the loan. Yeah, isn't the United... Here's what's great. Oh, is that what everyone is saying? How is everyone doing? Oh, everyone is doing really crappy? I sure don't want to be everyone. Like, I love it when normal or inferior people give other people advice. And the advice is, do what I say. And you say, but you're a moron and you're poor and you're in debt. Why would I listen to you? Because, yeah, but I want a better than average life. And the only reason I would listen to you is if you said, well, you see my crappy normal life? I did what everybody else told me to do. And now I'm just like everybody else, average and crappy. Don't do what I did. Do what the crazy guy on the internet in the pajamas told you to do. Yeah, if you do what everybody says, you're going to end up like everybody. I don't know if you've looked around the United Kingdom, particularly the ladies who are passed out, pissing themselves in the street with their hoo-ha open to the world. Is that Birmingham or Worcestershire? Or Birminghamshire? Wherever it is, those girls do that. The favorite pastime of the United Kingdom. Or here in the United States, we do things a little bit differently. We can't be exact replicas of our United Kingdom cousins. We just like to poop in the streets. That's how we differentiate ourselves from United Kingdom. We're the United States. We're special. We poop in our streets. Isn't it just the girls lying naked, pissing in their hoo-ha up in the air? No, everybody does it. Men, women, non-binary, we all poop in the streets. Whose advice did they follow? Oh, they followed everyone's advice. Oh, everyone's advice. Oh. Look, kid, I'll tell you another thing. You got a degree in economics and you still got hired and they're going to pay you for your chartered analyst or chartered accountant. You should not be aiming for average everyday person's advice. You should be aiming a lot higher. And so I would absolutely not listen to the normie people. It's not like, well, whose advice do I listen to? Don't think about advice. Look at empiricism and what makes sense and logic. Does it not make sense to bite the bullet now, save your money, live with your folks, work another job if you got the time, pay off all your debts? Yeah. And if you ever hear like, but, no, there is no but. There is no but. That is the best thing to do. Because otherwise you're going to be like stupid American kids. Joe Biden, they didn't do the thing they said was going to do. I mean, here's another thing. Like, do you want to end up like this? I got to imagine your Zoomers are like the Zoomers over here. You're a Zoomer, right? They just have an accent and they eat crappy food and it's raining, right? Do you want to end up like them? Do you want to be like that, or do you want a better life? Do you want a life where you could go to Jamaica or one of these British protectorates where it's sunny? Like, oh my God, what is that? Is this bright thing in the sky? No, oh, the sun. What's that? Because you're remotely employed, because you could open up your own shop, you could do taxes anywhere. You should tune into the Elkins Accounting Hour, even though it's American based. The concept is still the same. You'd appreciate it. Yeah, man. Your choice between becoming Chad Elkins or your average Zoomer millennial, Chad Elkins, obviously. Where am I missing an email? Because you told me what I am missing an email because I want to know, where did you go to college? And you went to one of the Ivy League or your Ivy League equivalents. Where did that email go? I had it. Darn it, I am missing. Boy, that's weird. Microsoft Outlook does dumb things. So there you go. So for all of us who paid off our student loans, I know you may be upset. Do you remember when people like paid off their student loans the day before Biden announced that he was going to reforgive it? And they were pissed, but then they voted for Biden anyway because free stuff, right? And then and now it's put back on hold. Oh. Like, do you realize how sad your life is when your contingent, your happiness and your survival is contingent on whether or not the government passes a form of theft? Oh, let's get rid of these prawn people here. There we go. You'd think YouTube would notice anything 69xxx porn. You'd think they're like, hey, let's ban that. Ass bucket 62, $5. It's hard to pay for school because iPhone payment, car lease payment, brand name purses, shoes, nails, hair, Netflix, Disney, plus while being cat mom. Yep. Oh, dude, look at anyone's personal income statement. Look at their personal budget. It's all there. You could all, you know what? You could all afford all those things and pay off your student loans if you worked another job. It is nothing but pure laziness. That's it. That's all it is. This isn't complicated. I don't want to hear your whining and sob story, how it's not your fault. Okay. I don't want to hear. No, you are taking other people's money. That's it. Eric Burns, Marsh, $5. Yo, bro, dude, if I worked a second job, I would not be able to watch the sports ball. If you work security, you could watch the sports ball. That's why I keep recommending security. It's not like you got to work a crappy work night security. That gives you an incredible opportunity to sit down, get an advanced degree, learn some skills. I programmed the webs. That's how I did asshole consulting. That's how I did my dance class. God, I probably even wrote books. Yeah, if you just sit there and don't do anything, yeah, but if you work security, you can watch sports ball and you pay off your student loans. L Jeff, $10. Astonished I can watch this live. Yeah, I am not podcasting in a normal hour. Great to see you on Pop's channel last week. You and Pop are the bestest in the Westest. We're pretty good. I don't know if I'm the bestest. Pop ranks up there. He's a character. We got 245 people. Subscribe to the channel. How close are we? I'm like at 96, closing in on 97,000. Come on, guys. We're almost there. Subscribe if you haven't. L Jeff, $10. Also, I got into Seeking a few months ago. I want to hear about this. It's worked out really well for me. It has become a dating site for the most part. Okay, so then it worked well for you. So it is a good functional dating site. Was that what you went there for, or did you go there to pay for play? Because that's what I thought was it's a dating site and it doesn't pay. You don't do the pay thing anymore. Because there's a lot of guys, they don't want to do the dating thing. They just want to have sex. And where's this going to go? Where's it going to be 6 months from now? Is it going to warp and become the next Tinder? Crypto Pimp, $10. Cappy, do you think 40-plus-year-old single men without children, no plans for marriage, no children, should buy a house? Yeah, if you find, I mean, it depends on the guy. Everything is a very individual decision. Should I wear a blue shirt or red shirt? Depends on you. But if this is why you should read Reconnaissance Man and The Menu, because I go into great detail about when, not the perfect time, but when you should and should not buy a house. And I would not buy a house until you have done global reconnaissance and you find the place that you belong in the world. And even then, you may love Albania, but your work may require you to not be in Albania, and it would not make any sense for you to buy in Albania. So many stars have to align before you buy a house. If you know, like, I want to live near my folks, and I've always wanted to live in Louisiana, and there's a piece of land over here, and da-da-da. Yeah, and then you can go ahead and do it. But I'm not against 40-year-old anybody owning a piece of property. It's just got to fit your life. But, travel far and wide. So where, you buy a house once. That's the idea. In other words, shorter version of the goal. You want to buy a house once. That's it. Bob, $2. AC, what other life goals do you have before death? There's not a lot. Power paragliding. I looked into kayaking or whitewater rafting from Rock Springs, Wyoming, all the way to what's the dam? Hoover Dam. There's not much. I do want to do some global reconnaissance. There's a piece of me that would like to go to Siberia and just explore that a little bit, but the roads are debatable, and I don't speak Russian, which I know I'd have to learn some. There isn't much. I'm starting to lose my energy. I would not mind, although this is contradictory to that, I would not mind getting into the ring at least once or twice, either boxing or MMA. But that's going to require full-time work. There's not. I'd like to go ride my motorcycle, getting in the Canadian Rockies. I'd really like to ride in Mexico. Maybe Atham, but I have to have like a Spanish-speaking translator with me. Not necessarily because I couldn't pass with what limited Spanish I got, but to not get in trouble with cartels or get schnookered or anything like that. I mean, their maintenance goals: be in shape, always hike. Couple mountains in Montana I'd like to take a tackle at. I want to hike in the middle of Canyonlands National Park. That's going to take 2 weeks. Nothing. Oh, I want to cruise the world. No, I don't want to cruise the world. No, I don't want to sail the world. Yeah, it's about it. Peace, silence, serenity, and quiet. I guess golf more. Hey, the tornado chasing kid is in the house. I'm like, yeah. Hang on, let me. I can't help it, guys. I can't help it if there's a lag. YouTube has been really bad. My internet speed is fine. And what you'll notice is if you watch this video after I record it, there's a huge lag by like seconds, and then the video catches up with the audio as it renders on YouTube. I don't know what YouTube's doing. Screwing with things as usual. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are like, where'd your videos go? You have to click on live now. YouTube used to list all your videos on one place. It was under the videos tab. Now you have to click on live because it just lists uploaded videos. And yeah, try not to watch the screen, which wouldn't be too hard. And just listen to it. Scrolling. I thought we had more super chats here. Bob, $5. Should you want to pay the student loan debt one due to interest? Yeah. You don't look. How many articles have you heard written by a sob piece worthless journalism major that interviews some college graduate, oftentimes with a master's degree, and they didn't know about compound interest? And now they're 50, like, I didn't know it's gonna grow. Yes, pay it off. Pay it back. It's not it's a reason not to hire college graduates. It really is. Most college graduates are morons. Kalini, $10. My fan comes from the foreign Middle East country. Thoughts of marrying a girl and travel back and forth. Would it be worth it to have kids, or do you think juice isn't worth the squeeze? Well, that it really depends on your home country. Um, and you know what you're. I mean, commonly, I'm going to assume there are not the economic opportunities in your Middle East country, and you're traveling to a Western nation to make the money there. You are very unlikely to find a marriage quality woman in the West. And so you want to go back to the home country to find a girl. I am absolutely 100% for you finding a girl back in the home country because, again, you have cultural commonalities, ties, similarities, maybe religious, and they are more traditional. There are just a higher percentage of women that are conducive to being married. And it does align with your we've had that here. We've had Americans, they're born and raised in America, first generation full blood American, but they still went back to Vietnam or India because the culture was still carried over, not necessarily genetically, but perhaps like very likely through the parents. And then they found a wife. It's not to say there's not a chance you could find a wife in the West. I mean, there is, it's very small, but your chances are much higher. Traveling back and forth, boy, man. I mean, if you're paid enough, I would honestly, what I would do is stay in the West, United States, United Kingdom, I don't know where you are. Just live like a pauper, bank your money, and then go back and buy a nice little house in your home country and see if you can't find some kind of form of remote employment work that you could do from your home country, but still command or at least have your wages and payment come from a Western world, have first world income, living second, third world expenses. That way, then you could stay in your home country, your culture, your wife is there, she's near her family, you're near your family. It just is going to work out better. And it's not because, oh, I don't want you in my country. Da da da. Not only do I not want you in my country, it's going to work out better for you. I mean, it's what support is there in the West for a nuclear family? Your poor wife would probably be villainized by other women, will constantly be assaulted, not in a physical sense, but propagandized by Western women, Middle Eastern or not. If they're westernized, they're westernized. Like, oh, why are you doing? Yeah, yeah. They're going to be tempted and taunted with baubles and trinkets like $5,000 handbags and the shopping. No, man. Do you want a family? Nice little small house. Get a nice wife in the home country. There's mom, there's dad, there's your father-in-law, mother-in-law. They can maybe take care of the little kids while you go do your thing. Make a lot of money in the West, come back. Oh, you got a little thing on the internet. And then you're not traveling. And I know traveling sounds fun as a younger person. It is, but it gets tiring. And that is not, I got a buddy who lives in India and he's got to fly to Michigan from India. That is a hellish flight. So, yeah, make your money in the West, but yeah, if you want to get married, do not get married in the West. Oh God, your kids going to public schools. Oh, worth it to have kids. No, I think it's worth, you find the right girl in the right culture. Yeah, I think if do you want kids? Do you want kids? Go have kids, but don't expect to have kids. L Jeff, $10. I got in there before it became a dating site. But I have a steady who is cute and 20 years my junior. It changed quickly. I got lucky. All right. So would you still, you don't have to keep, send me an email, Jeff. I would love to write a good, thorough email covering what you've witnessed and whether or not you'd recommend men do it. Because I was until recently, I always thought, oh yeah, that's the site you go to, and now you can't do it anymore. So you seem like you were grandfathered in, but would you recommend it to any new entrant? Cynic and Chief, $5. I wouldn't mind visiting Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico again. Robert Barnes is in Vegas. I want to meet him. How long are you staying? The first round, I'm staying till the end of the month. Then I come back, do the Christmas thing with family, and I'm going back late December. But then I might be going off to Asia. I gotta look that up. Instead of sitting there like, oh, should I play video games? Oh, it's so boring at my house. It's too cold to go outside. Maybe I should have looked. You just get sick of it, though. I mean, I am already done entering my receipts for year to date for the taxes. That's how caught up I am. Sometimes you just want to veg and do nothing. There you go. Wyoming or Montana. I'm going to strongly recommend you bring a girl first. The Wyoming and Montana women are not attractive, and they are not many. And what moderately attractive women in Wyoming or Montana exist, they are single moms. There are places you can go, but I am not kidding when I say this. You better not have a high IQ above 105, because if you are, the people are going to drive you nuts because they're dumber than all get out. There we go. What are we doing? What? This is from Ricochet. Men sweep prize money in New York City Marathon's non-binary category. In the annals of innovating new ways for male athletes to crowd out female athletes from earning prize money, one can hardly do better than the New York Roadrunners and organizers of the famed New York City Marathon. The New York Roadrunners has demonstrated its own ambivalence about female athletes by creating a cash cow for male athletes competing in the so-called non-binary category. Oh, you knew. Hey, look. Who wrote this? David Diebel. Look, I'm with you, man. I get it. Who does this hurt? Well, marathon runner. Who? What type of marathon runners? Well, female marathon runners. Oh, females. You mean the group of people that vote 70% Democrat? And where is this marathon? Oh, New York City? So like 99% of these women voted for this? You gotta, man, I'm not a big Buddhist, but there's a lot of balance in the world, a lot of karma. And you don't have to lift a finger, man. Like, these girls voted for it. They're all about it. I can't wait to see what happens in the Olympics. All these women, good little, you're for the real people, right, ladies? You're for the real people. I'm a Democrat and I can't for the real people. What do you mean, a guy? What do you mean, a penis? He's in our locker room? I can't call him a he, it's a she, or I'm going to be banned? But he's got a penis. What do you mean I'm banned? This has been my entire life to learn how to throw the stick of stabbiness in the ground, the javelin. What are you rising to defend milady's honor? These women hate you. They hate conservative. They hate Republicans. It's not even that. They hate traditionalism. They want to be popular. So it not only destroyed society, but their little. I mean, I gotta imagine if you're a marathon runner, it's a serious passion. That's no joke. What should you be happy? It'll be a surprise. It will surprise no one that the prize money in non-binary categories swept by forgive the term biological men. An irony-free celebration of the winners is available at runnersworld.com, itself an institution taken over by woke ideologues, offering such fitness tips as be a champion for black runners by becoming a disruptor. What the hell's a disruptor? According to reporting from ESPN, NYRR CEO Karen Hempel issues a press release stating, "We are so proud that the TCS New York City Marathon attracts such a diverse and global community of runners We are deeply focused on ensuring all of our athletes feel welcome and included in the NYRR. First marathon declared a safe space by the Stonewall Inn, whatever that is, blah, blah, blah. Jake Caswell, talented runner whose finishing time of 2:45 would have earned him 172nd place had he competed in the open men's category. Had Caswell competed in the open women's category, no word yet on whether Race Hall of Fame inclusiveness would extend to this. He would have finished 26th place. Zachary, Justin, Nick, and Aaron. Aaron is a female. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Where did it go? I thought there was more than this. This is obviously someone who agrees with me. Wins non-binary division. New York non-binary run. Man, non-binary. Soon we're going to have guys named Ted who are left-footed, left-handed. There would be a category for that. You can identify as non-binary in next year's Boston's marathon. Wasn't there a dude that went was it Miss America? Hang on. Man wins. Biological man wins local America pageant. Brian Yen. And all the women were happy about it. They're also happy that he won. Okay, it's the Miss America organization. Remember it was being taken over by women? Remember they said that it was, it's demeaning, it's degrading, and now no one watches it anymore? Now a man has won it. I got a question. Do you girls just hate yourselves? How much do you hate yourselves? Why do you hate being women? Why do you okay, is it more important to be popular than it is to be a woman? I always love Fascination and Choices because you girls will let men into your various forms of competition or determinations of excellence in one capacity or another, and then they win and you're all excited about it. Like, shouldn't you be pissed off? Or is it more important that you are popular than you achieve excellence and are recognized by society for that excellence? I can't wait for the Olympics. I can't wait because see, the US is woke and the West is woke. That doesn't mean the majority of countries in the world are not woke. And they're going to be like, no, the Olympic Committee. Although isn't the Olympic Committee largely headed up by a bunch of leftist pussy countries? Like, I get the Scandinavian, they just seemed like they'd be in charge of everything. The Scandinavians, like, oh my goodness, oh my God, we're just okay. We have razor blades over here in case anyone from Scandinavia wishes to off themselves because we're just such self-loathing, detestable people. Scholarship was up for grabs. Another thing robbed from a woman. It sounds like the death knell of women beauties pageants. Good. Federal Appeals Court upholds another beauty pageants policy excluding biological. No. I want this. I want men in women's activities. I want them in the locker rooms. I want them I want these guys who are transgender or men who are formerly trans, whatever, however it works. I want you guys applying for corporate executive positions. I want you in HR. I want you everywhere. I want you to go as far as you possibly can. Oh. Trans actor, I don't care about the drama. I know this kind of solved it itself. What's it like, girls? I mean, okay, we get you don't want family or husbands or anything like that, and Republicans and tradition, and Leave It to Beaver and Ward and nuclear families, all bad, all bad. So now you've replaced it with career and competition and passions, but then you let men into those passions to ruin the career and that you no longer get to be celebrated in those things. So now you drink more wine. I don't know what I don't. Okay. Any more super chats? Get there. Sin in Chief would love to see you on Viva and Barnes Sidebar. Is that a podcast? I don't know. Donna Hannaford again. To Australia. I love you too, Cappy. So, but thanks, love. I'll take part-time love any day. That's a guy's dream come true. Part-time love. Oh, you don't like me anymore and you're leaving? I'm kidding, Donna, not you. Part-time love. The male romance novel. She was all hot and heavy into me. I said, I'll leave work early, get to your house. And then I got there and we totally banged on the kitchen island. And then she said, you got to get out of here. I said, why is that? She says, because my husband coming home. And I said, part-time love, baby. The end. Greatest book ever. Cynic Chief, $2. All the women who are non-binary are ones and zeros. I get the joke. I'll take Wally back in the Beaver. Why was Jerry Mather? Tony Downs. Is Tony Downs a good-looking guy? Kalini, $10. One more question. Plus, I'm a trucker. Want to go back to school for accounting like you suggest, but you want to suggest the same online university, Western Governors University, Western Governors University, or any accredited online school that offers a degree in accounting that will qualify you to sit for the CPA. That being said, you don't even have to go all the way to the CPA. Please do tune into the Elkins Accounting Hour and binge on that. Like while you're driving truck, binge on all the Elkins Accounting Hour, right? Because they're so desperate for accountants. The quickest route is you get certified in QuickBooks Online. You don't even have to go to school for that. You go to library, get a couple books on basic accounting and bookkeeping, teach it to yourself, watch some tutorials, get some tutorials on QuickBooks. You could go there and start working online. I think pretty much. It might take a couple months study, but you could do that. Then you go to school and start studying online more formally, getting credits. So you could go and, I guess, get employed. But you may also start making enough money through QuickBooks and self-study and building up a reputation that you got more clients that you don't even need to go to school. So, but yes, if you are going to go to school, do go to an accredited online affordable school. Western Governors is usually the cheapest, but they shop around a little bit. There might be some new ones. Tony Dow was hot. Okay, I guess. Brian M, $10. Bachelor Pad Economics is one of the best books I've ever read. I'm losing eyes with my bad eye I have open. I appreciate the wisdom, Cappy. Thank you. No problem, Brian. No problem. Now, hopefully you did what was in the book. You didn't just read it. You did what was in it. But glad to help. We got that there. All right. From Side Post, attractive female students no longer earned higher grades when classes moved online during COVID-19. You guys probably heard of this. New psychology findings studies suggest. You do know the majority of studies now coming out of college and in the past are not repeatable. So I don't know if this study is repeatable or has any veracity. Suggests that attractive students earn higher grades in school, but for female students, this beauty premium disappears when classes are taught remotely. The findings were published in the journal Economic Letters. A large body of research suggests that physical appearance has an impact on a person's success. No kidding, really? For example, attractive people tend to earn more money and report higher life satisfaction than less attractive people. My God, I thought it was the opposite. Scholars have yet to agree on the explanation behind this beauty premium because people want to bang them. You academics are so dumb. Discrimination. Well, yeah, it's discriminating against people you don't want to bang. I'm not reading this. I'm not. Did you know girls like taller guys? Do you know kids prefer ice cream? I wonder why that is. Got that there. Let's go through the sponsors. Way of Monkey book by Turk Flingy Monkey. Man, if you have, I can't watch Zoomer videos, man. If you look into the abyss and you're like, oh my God, there's no hope. Please go get the Way of Monkey book and read through it so that you can recapture control over your life and not go through a suicidal depression. I have anger problems. I am making great progress towards solving them. I'm less angry, though, that a lot of that is just simply leaving Marxist crap holes where adult Democrats crap in the streets. But also reading the Way of Monkey book helped with that. And so if you have anger issues, you're stressed, or you suffer genuine anxiety, please read that. Also, my buddy Atham is graduating with his degree in chemical engineering. He's not graduating until next year. However, obviously he knows to start putting out feelers now. So if you are in an industry or a field or a company that you think could potentially use a chemical engineer, if you could kindly email me at Asshole Consulting, I'll put you in contact with him. He's got really good grades. He's very intelligent. Now he's ugly as sin. I mean, he's just ugly. Kind of walks funny. He farts a lot. And he'll clog your toilets with huge deuces. He'll deny it. But, not everyone's perfect. Not everyone's perfect. But if you don't mind a farting chemical engineer, consider hiring my buddy Atham and reach out to me. Where'd it go? Oh, I had it. I even had it memorized by name. Bowtied Rapper. Go to bowtiedraptor.substack.com if you are a young man or woman looking into getting into data science, right? Especially if you're high school, right? There's no reason for you to take all these courses and then figure out if you like getting into the field. Why don't you go subscribe to their newsletter? That's the main thing. You go to the website, so subscribe to the newsletter. It's free, and it will help you assess whether or not you should go into data science. That's bowtiedraptor.substack.com. We got that there. VeloWave, if you are interested in getting a pedal assist bike, meaning electric power, I'm going to put the link in there in the chat room. I'd get one, and I get solar powers. Oh, let me get that. I got one because I don't want to just rely on gas vehicles. So if push comes to shove, I have an electric bike that'll get me 40 miles away. I'm already pretty far out of town, but you never know. Maybe I got to go even further. So you could get $200 off the VeloWave bike. It's the Prado S model. Use the discount code Aaron. You got to use that link there below. Or if you're interested, email me. I'll send you the link. You can always email me at assholeconsulting.com. Academiccomposition.com. Go to academiccomposition.com if you don't want to write your papers because a bunch of Marxist professors need their jobs, forcing you to take courses that have nothing to do with your degree. Again, you girls screwing yourselves over because you just can't have too much socialism. It's all right, ladies. Go ahead, spend 2 years of your youth learning about how much to hate yourself and productive people. But don't write your own papers. Have someone else do that for you. Academiccomposition.com. Alex and his team of writing staff will write your papers for you. And he's also always looking for people to write for him and market the company. And then, what do I want to promote? I guess I got my own stuff. There is, let's promote me. There's Pushing Rubber Downhill, the book and the website and the podcast, all by Adam Piggott. Strongly recommend going there. Kanto Talk, Sylvia Kanto. Subscribe to him on YouTube. He needs to make 1,000, then he could get monetized. I should check in on him. Oh, there's a bunch of other people. Hotep Jesus, 7-Step Survival, The Goddamn Bacon, Masculine Geek, Turd Flinging Monkey, Better Bachelor, Carrie Lutz's Financial Survival Network. Oh yeah, my thing. If you're interested in getting your financial act together, go take my Achieving Financial Excellence course. Offered on teachable.com. That's the one that is open 24/7, 365 days a year. That is your very first step, first start, first square. If you say, hey, now's the time to get serious about financial planning and retirement. So there we go. There's all the podcast, the sponsors. I got that. Bryant. Already did Bryant. Are there any more left? Goth Rocker, $5. Cappy, any thoughts on why there was no red wave with the election? Depressing. I would say a lot of people, conservatives, didn't turn out. Gen Z turned out. I would expect there was some ballot stuffing. I wouldn't doubt it. And also keep in mind that the core population in the United States is turning more leftist. That was more reflected in Gen Z voting Democrat plus 28. It's not all the immigrants and all that. I mean, some of that's it too, but also your native population is just becoming more leftist. Women are more leftist. They don't want to get married. It's not hyperbole. They have chosen the state over men. They love socialism. They love a government check. They love themselves. They don't. The nuclear family, the individual is over. They want a commune, both financially and socially. Just that's what Americans want. That's what they voted for. I mean, you got to admit things are not good. Biden is dumb. I don't mean that because I disagree with him politically. The guy's old. He's dumb. Some of these people that got elected, holy cow. I mean, think about we have in a lot of major metros. I'm not kidding. Adult Democrats pooping in the streets. That's what we have. We never had that before. Oh, I'm sure somewhere, okay, truly homeless. But that's the American people are decaying. They're turning into pretty worthless people, frankly. And now, oh my God, they're voting for free stuff. These people don't see the inflation or even ask more of other people's money. Not realizing that's, it's like, oh, don't scratch that. You'll spread the rash. What do? They scratch. Oh, the rash is spreading. Stop scratching. No, you're a bigot if you tell me not to scratch. Okay, scratch. Oh, well, more scratching. Okay, have fun. You're going to cause the problem. It's the reason I'm going overseas to look for property. Reason I don't have kids. My God, my cynicism back in my 20s paid off. You all thought I was just a loosen up, Clary. You don't have to be so Republican. Okay. Just poppity boo. Eric Burns Marsh, $2. Thanks for recommending Turfling Monkey. Both books are great. Oh, he has Way of Monkey book and what was the other one? Don't get screwed over. Something like that. Yeah. His Way of Monkey book is excellent. That's the one I recommend. Now I'm getting tired. Goth Rocker, $5. I don't know how the working men and women can continue this path in this country. You are right. We need to move, but what country to go to? It's go to a cheap country that's stable. Just get a piece of property and get the hell out. And not every country you can buy land. A lot of countries, they respect their own citizens. They know foreigners can't buy property here. America's like, a foreigner? Oh my God, can I spread my ass cheeks for you? Here's my wife. Okay. I just want you to feel welcome. 13 ways not to be a cuck. That's it. Thank you, Eric. All right, there you guys go. All right. That's it. Let me make sure. Oh, let me read through this and then I can get this done. I am curious about India, the country and the people and the Indian immigrants here, economic but also cultural reasons. Hey, Cappy, this is in reference to the email you read from Ines, the Indian guy in the EU on your podcast, How Rich White Women Destroyed America. Everything that guys, I'm curious because you see Mindy Kaling. You see Indian girls here in the United States, either ethnically born in India or they're born and raised in the United States. They just happen to be ethnic, and they seem radically feminist. I'm like, well, India is a population of 1 billion and change. I mean, maybe it's just the privileged women that come over here. So I'm always kind of curious. I'm like, is it that bad in India? And I think there was like where they're kidnapping men and forcing them to get married. Like, that could be one little segment of India that's really crazy. It could be their California. So I'm always wondering, like, well, they were a British colony at one time. Are they very westernized? What's going on over there? One, everything the guy said about Indian girls in society is 100% true. Two, the judiciary is definitely gynocentric. Indian society is still mostly traditional, and so are politicians who make the legislative body. So feminists have been appealing to courts using human rights, constitutional rights, bodily autonomy, and human dignity as a shield to push their agenda. Here's an example. The Supreme Court of India just recognized the concept of marital forcible bedroom not fun time and women's right to abortion without external influence, i.e., husband has no say in the abortion. Now, this is not just a law yet, but the verdict can and will be used as precedent. All right, and there's the e-links to an article there. Read the comments below the article to get some sight in what Indian men are thinking about this. 3, the horror stories you hear about the false forcible bedroom fun time accusations in India are absolutely true. I've been hearing about them since I was a little kid. He's an older man now. And these stories and the prevalence was one of the reasons that put me off of marriage and Indian girls entirely. That is fascinating to me. When I was growing up, when I was a kid, India, well, it was poor. I think you were just, yeah, there was the war with China. And I'm trying to remember when you guys got rid of Gandhi and said the socialism thing isn't working. But India was poor. They were poor. So I always had the stereotype that it was just this third world poor, but then as it grew, and I'm like, well, are they doing the China thing? Are they growing on? And they are. But I thought the old traditional stuff still held over, but apparently not. Normally, such accusations happen because the couple breaks up and the girl either wants revenge or wants to cover her shame because there's social pressure of not to have sex before marriage. Often the only way for a guy to get sex is the promises of marriages, and the only way for a girl to justify premarital sex is the hope of marriage. Oh my God. No. We want all the modernities of feminism, but none of the responsibilities. Okay, fine. Worst case, it's a deception, but the girls who initially consented to sex, albeit under false hope, will say he promised to marry me and then forced himself on me. And the guy ends up in jail for years as accusation of forcible bedroom not fun time isn't qualified for bail to prevent harm to women. Man. Wow. Of course, there are many other situations where the guy breaks up for a multitude of valid reasons and the girl just wants revenge. I'm not sure what situation is more prevalent though. While false accusation is a crime under Indian law, the burden of proof is on the defendant. Recently, a girl was sent to prison for 1 year for making a false accusation, but such cases are extremely rare. Why does the guy from India write better English than all the people here in America? Well, they do know English. I know, but it's so well written. 4, most Indian guys are beta. All the nerdiness comes from not hanging out with girls. We are also raised as mama boys, coddled from birth, and most of us don't really know how to live in a real world independently. It has nothing to do with Hinduism, though, nor this was always the case to the best of my knowledge. It's a social norm that started some time ago. I haven't been able to find an exact period when this begins. How much of, again, because okay, just so you know, India is not this monolithic thing, but it's very interesting. You're like, well, Indian guys all be like this. I'm like, well, really? Because there's the Nexapolites, I believe they're called. It's what, 6 different languages easy. There's Hindus, there's Muslims. It's not terribly uniform. But can it be the general case that it's kind of a matriarchy, like the mom kind of runs the house a little bit? I don't know. I could be wrong. So the combination of coddling, lack of experience with girls, drive to have sex, and immense social pressure to get married and have kids and produce grandchildren for the parents. Means most Indian men will marry any landwell that comes towards them. Oh, you guys could say no. You could just say no. I mean, it's not like you guys could do with a few or less people, right? I mean, India actually isn't that big. It's about what, a little bit bigger than Brazil. I mean, it's a sizable country, but you got like 1.1 billion people. I think think traffic could improve, a little fewer people. I believe most Indians leave India to escape this burden of social norms and traditions, not just better opportunities. 3, most Indian girls are 3 at best and fat. Are they? Really? Hang on. I gotta check. Hang on. BMI India women. Oh, that's not the site. BMI women by country. Okay. Can't be getting tired. Find India. Okay, India. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Okay. Females are on the right column. Okay, 22 for women. They don't look. They're not that. They're thinner than Somali girls. Yeah, I don't. Maybe in the cities they're overweight, but you're wrong. I mean, maybe the girls you're running around with, they might be fat, but they're not here. Unless you're in America. You're in America. Is that what you're saying? I get the impression you're in India, but right here, the Indian girls are really thin. They're just 2 places above North Korea. How is North Korea fatter than Vietnam? That doesn't make any sense. All right. The cute ones you saw are the exception. Indian fertility rate is also falling and is at 2.15 as of May 2022. Has been falling at a rate of approximately 1% per year since 2014. Regards, we'll keep you anonymous. Yeah, they could probably use less people. Not that I want the Indian race to die. I'm just saying it's pretty crowded. Everyone worries about overpopulation. It's like, well, you're just more land for us. The people that live would the only child inherits everything. It's not the worst thing. All right, there we go. Oh, Umar, are you listening in? Watching you live. Thank you so much for untangling this bleep stain that the UK government has shat upon me and try to preach to people to not pay off the loan and toll. We'll definitely take your advice and let you know in 3 years' time how you're doing. Good for you. Thanks, you're an older brother I never had. P.S. email I sent earlier, I forwarded now. All right. Good. There you go. Well, good. Glad to have that. That's good. Now I don't have to send you the thing and let you know you did the thing. Put that in the archive. There we go. Yeah, let us know 3 years from. Remind me. Don't just say, hey, I'm doing well. I'm like, who do you have for you? All right. Are we caught up? Can Cappy go to bed? Got one more. And Cappy go to bed. Wholesome DJ Aftershock, $5. A big reason was horror GOP messaging, terrible rep candidates, and more. Silver lining is DeSantis did win by 20 points, and New York governor only won by 5 points. Guys, look, here's the thing. You heard it here first. It will be up to women whether or not the United States succeeds or not. That's it. And I don't mean just in the way they vote, but in the way they're going to interact with men. Because if we don't work together as a team and just an element of creating future Americans, all right, if we don't agree on that, we're at each other's throats and women are just going to constantly increasing for an increasing state and they're going to go do their thing and we're just going to live in, it's going to be like 2 countries under one where one just raises the taxes. You can expect until women decide, well, wait a minute, family is more important to me than politics. Family is more important to me than the government. It's not coming back. It isn't. And I don't see it coming back. I'm sure Zoomer girls, you voted Democrat the most, right? You don't need no man. You're not interested in men. Fine. The forecasts are that half the girls of marrying age aren't going to be married by 2030. It's kind of like, well, if there ain't going to be love, there ain't going to be family, there ain't going to be tradition, there ain't going to be beauty, and you girls are just going to, well, I'm worshiping the government and my socialism and my politics and my feminism and me. Fine. Okay. If it's just you, then it's every man or woman, every individual for themselves, and there's no reason to work towards anything larger. So we're just going to vote for our own self interests at the expense of each other. Although guys typically vote to leave me the F alone, and that will be it. And the US, someone put it brilliantly, like the US is an economic zone. It really is now. It really is. But the Republican Party is not coming back. The Libertarian Party doesn't stand a shot. The Democrats are in because half the population wants that. And the other half of the population that wants the half of the other half of the population that wants the half of the population think that agreeing with that half of the population will get them laid. It's called the simp vote, right? So right off the bat, 25% of the people, meaning half the men, are going to vote with women because they think it's going to get them laid. Half the women, well, not all the women are going to vote Democrat, but they are. And that's it. Okay, there you go. We're done now. But, no. Stop. Just for once, guys, please listen to me. Please, just for once, listen to the economist who's always been right about these things. Can you just listen to me? Get your crypto. Doesn't it come down in price? Isn't anybody happy about that? Get a really good job. See if you can work remotely. Marry overseas if you happen to be from overseas or have a cultural ethnicity tie back to a home country. And just make your money here in the United States. And if you see a girl on the side of the road that has the car broken down, just like, oh, good thing they voted for a government program for that. Can you help fix my truck? No. Can you help fix my computer? Well, I can, but I won't. Why not? Well, you keep raising my taxes. Go pay for it yourself. Oh, shut up. Just shut up. No, I don't have to help you. I really don't. You vote to take my money away. Shut up. Let me see your social media. Oh, you are a conservative or not a male hating, America hating, you're a woman that okay, I'll help you out. I'll help you move. Let me see your social media. Oh, girl boss. Oh, don't need no. Okay, fine, bye. You can fix your own toilet. 54% of Gen Zers in Florida voted GOP. Really? Good for them. Good for them. Because they're having a good time. They got jobs. I wonder what Minnesota Zers voted for. You know what Gen Zers in Minnesota probably did? Not only did 100% of them vote for the Democrat Party, the male Gen Zers probably cut their nuts off and mailed it into the Democrat Party in Minnesota as a sacrificial offering. I so care. I give unto you my severed penis. Good for you, Zero Smoke. Good man. Good man. I think a lot of young people, I mean, if you're in Florida now and you're growing roots, that's a great place to be for a young person. Start looking for property. Learn to salsa dance, learn to smoke cigars. You'll be good. All right, that's it. I'm going to go to bed. See you guys later, Toodles.